That's right, Bikeaholics. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. It's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers. Make sure to check it out via our custom link so you can get all the perks. lawabidingbiker.com/bikerplanet. Hey, Bikeaholics, do you have your grip on?
You know, the Biker Gripper.
Simply the best motorcycle, cell phone, GPS, radar detector, and EFI tuner mount on the market.
Oh, it grips so tight.
That's right, 18 pounds grip strength to be exact.
So sleek and strong.
That's right, fits American or metric motorcycles and comes in black or chrome.
So what are you waiting for? Get your grip on.
You can get the Biker Gripper exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. Head over to www.lawabidingbiker.com/store and get your grip on. Get your grip on, Big Daddy.
Grab it.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Everybody ready for a ride?
That is right, Bikeaholics out there. Big Daddy in the house. We got Dar Ching. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the 99%. That's right. By listening to this podcast, you are, whether you want to be or not, you are part of what we call the biker revolution. Know that, Big Daddy?
Yep, it's time to saddle up, boys and girls.
That's right, Bikeaholics. Mount up. What are you waiting for? Let us take you on another wild-ass ride, huh? Dar Cheng's going to take you on a wild-ass ride. Hang on. Roll the throttle back, guys. Here we go. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast, and of course, your high-tech redneck. We are live via Blab. We're getting the claps, and thanks for everybody for pushing the screen and giving them the props and all that. Hey, I've got 8. You guys only have 1 clap. Oh, Darch. Oh, geez, dude. Look at everybody. He's got like...
now, he's blowing you up.
Dude, he's blowing up. Dude, he's probably hitting his own screen.
Oh. Is that what he's doing?
I know he's got it.
You know, this is pretty good, Ryan. I mean, there's 14 people watching live and 64 listening in. This is like a great turnout.
Yes, make sure you're doing good on your audio. So bring your microphone right into your mouth because you're. Try it now. Say something. Anything. Yeah. Make sure you're talking right into the end of that thing because it's fading off if you don't, that dynamic mic. Anyways, guys, we are live via Blab. Of course, all you listening later, this will be in podcast format as usual. So get signed up for the live notification, guys. If you go over to our live page, lawabidingbiker.com/live, you can get signed up right there. The only thing you will get when you sign up for that particular email list is notifications when we go live. I make it super simple. There's a big button because sometimes we do audio live, sometimes we do video live, but I try to keep it simple for you guys. So by signing up for that very list, you'll get a button. It'll either say watch live or listen live, and it will take you to the very page at lawabidingbiker.com/live, or it'll take you to this Blab. There'll be a direct link and stuff. Let me look here. We're trying to avoid, and I try to make it really simple, but last time we were audio live, we had a few glitches as far as... So that's what I'm saying. I went to the live page. You hear that echo. It was Blab coming back at us. William Cody Case is on our regular chat on our live page. And a lot of people, the easier I try to make it, sometimes people get confused of where they're going to chat for a particular episode. Everything here, guys, is going to be on Blab tonight, where the chat box is right on the side of Blab. So just make sure you go to Blab, Law Abiding Biker, and you can get on the chat when we do video. So anyways, awesome. I do want to mention one real quick thing, and that is I think we have a new free video, guys, that I want to mention I try to give you guys a list of the videos, and that is remove and install a Harley fuel tank. That was actually your bike, BD Kane, that we did that particular video on. And if you guys want to get it, it is free, and it's at lawabidingbiker.com/Harley fuel tank. And it'll show you how to remove and replace your fuel tank, which I think they changed it to that a little bit easier method from like 2013 on. BDK, do you know the exact year? Because my 05 Wide Glide was more difficult. They didn't have the little quick sleeve and all that.
Yeah, they had, they used to also on some of the older Road Kings and even the Dynas, they had the connectors between the two sides of the tanks and stuff like that. And of course, now you don't have to worry about that.
Right. So head over there, guys, lawabidingbiker.com/Harley fuel tank. I'm very excited for this episode because we set this up for some time. So I just want to mention that your other person in the lower left corner of your blab screen there, anyways, on my screen, that's how it is. And that is Darwin Chang. And we're very excited to have him on the podcast. He is a patron. He's been a longtime patron and supporter of the show. Got involved in the very early stages. And of course, if you want to become a patron and be involved in our private Facebook group and benefits and some stuff like that, head over to lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. And he's very involved with Law Abiding Biker Media. And that's what I like about the community. You guys are going to understand when we get talking here about our main topic is there's so much knowledge out there. And that's really, we do the podcast and we get together and stuff, but there's so much, and you guys all have heard a lot of the podcasts out there where we bring in other people that are a part of the community because they have knowledge that we just simply don't have, and they share that information. And that's really what this platform is for, is so that we can all share information. And we've got the platform, obviously, and if I can bring smart people on like Dar Cheng to help us out, well, then that in itself is just helping the community, and that's what we're all about. We're not here to claim we know everything, and Dar has sent me some really cool stuff over time. So welcome, Dar.
Thank you. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. Hey, really appreciate you stepping up. And not only that, he just stepped up, and not only did he just do a recorded podcast, he's like, I'll step up to the plate and do a live blab, man. That's really awesome, man. We appreciate it.
And I signed up Twitter in 2 minutes.
Good call, dude. That may be a world record. I don't know. You may have just broke Guinness Book of World Records. We might find out later. So Dar, why don't you, before our main topic, guys, tonight, if you're wondering, is going to be all about Bluetooth headsets and the boombox infotainment system. Of course, the boombox infotainment systems comes on 2014 newer Harley-Davidson motorcycles. That's all the integrated GPS and on-voice, commands and Bluetooth connectivity with limitations, of course. But that's going to be our main topic. And Dar has had some workarounds. I actually did a video on it recently and a blog, and a lot of that was strictly based on Dar's input over probably the last year. I finally got around to making the video because I've been so busy, but a lot of it was based on his information and giving me a heads up that there was a workaround. You guys can be the judge on if it's something you want to do, but I would definitely want to get it out to the community. But if you go to lawabidingbiker.com, this is a long one, so I'm not going to give it, but if you just go to lawabidingbiker.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a search bar. Just search for headset hack or Harley headset or anything like that. You'll get it, but or you can go to the YouTube channel and search for it too. But it is a video kind of explaining some of this, but we're going to get in way deeper. So Dar, why don't you just whatever you're willing to disclose, brother. I really want the community to get to know you, and I've got to know you over time, although we've never met in person. I know your face, I know your voice and all that. So why don't you just share a little bit about who you are and whatever you're willing to share, man, about. That can be employment, that can be, motorcycle experience, where you live, anything, brother. It's up to you. Just let the community get to know who you are.
Yeah, sure. Well, I live in Southern California, in the greater Los Angeles area. And I've been dreaming about getting a Harley since I was 10 years old. It's just one of those things that I've never got to own and never had the chance to, even ride one. And, but I've just recently, last few years, finally made some money. Finally, my career, it's stable. And, decided to, buy a Harley. And, I've ridden motorcycles in the past and have had many times of chances of buying a used bike. And, over a period of time, one thing led to another, family, kids, and all that, just never made it happen. And so in 2013, around 2014 or so, I decided to seriously look into getting a motorcycle for the first time. And I'm in my mid 40s, and it's just one of those things that if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I started to look into it, and really there were two choices for me. It was Victory motorcycles or a Harley. And I was seriously looking at the Victory cross country. It was something that I liked the style. It was a little different. And the price point was a little bit lower. But when I looked at my 2014 Rushmore Street Guy Special, I compared it for the amount of money that I'm paying, for the amount of aftermarket parts that were available. And then most of all, I actually researched on YouTube on how many recalls are there. And that's where I found the law-abiding biker video on the recalls. And I recalled the very first time looking at it. I didn't even have a bike yet. And I was looking at your video on the recalls on the hydraulic clutch. And you put out a video out there, and the fact that there was so much support for the Harley community, that made it easier for me to make the decision that, if something were to go wrong, I can at least go on the video and find a bunch of resources, and in particular, going to Law Abiding Biker. And that was really helpful to help me make the decision. Rideability, I love both the rides, but, I think for the money, for the bang for the buck, and the support that you get through the internet and the videos, it was definitely worth it to get a Harley. Aside from that, the other thing that really drove me to really look into the lawabidingbiker.com and become a Patreon was, I started realizing, listening to your podcasts, that you guys are all, either current or former LEOs. And, for me, I was a reserve police officer in the greater Los Angeles area. And it was something that I gave up to do because I had to take care of my family. There was no time for the reserve work for me to do it anymore. And I did it for, a number of years. And really, I transitioned from that weekend time going to work at a police station to riding my motorcycle on the weekend. And so it was just kind of a natural transition for me to kind of hook up with this group with really good people and good support and good information out there to help me out as a new Harley owner.
That's awesome, man. Good. Hey, so you found us on the clutch video and awesome, man, LA Reserve. That's cool, man. Putting in your time there, just volunteering and stuff. I want to ask you, so you found us on the Harley Reclutch call video. You're saying you never had a motorcycle before that at all?
No, I've always either rented or borrowed a friend's, ride it and give it back, or, even just really, I'd spent like my first year in my 20s, I spent like money going to motorcycle safety course just to ride a bike. And so, for me, a lot of people say, hey, don't get a big bike. Don't get a big Street Glide Special because you might not be able to handle it. For me, it was more about, understanding the risk, know what I'm up against, and just really practicing. And now 2 years later, here I am.
That's sweet, man. So I was just listening to your story there and I made a few notes. So Victory, you were looking at the Victory and the Street Glide. Did you test drive Did you test ride that Victory?
Mm-hmm.
So you basically test rode both of them, and then you decided on the Harley, basically.
Yeah, and really mostly the Victory was a little bit too stretched out for me in terms of my reach, and I would have needed to do some kind of adjustment. The Harley just fit me a little bit better, and I would have to say that the rideability, how it moves, how it turns corners, the Victory is a little bit smoother than the Harley. But overall, what really pushed me over the edge was, for the amount of money that we're all paying for Harley-Davidsons, I want to be able to find places that would support that bike. I'm not looking forward to paying $500 for an oil change or, doing crazy stuff at the dealership. I want to find support so that I can do that on my own. And, really finding the law-abiding-biker.com pushed me over the edge.
That's awesome, man. Love hearing that stuff, man. Just, worked today. Like I tell you guys, I've been up since early this morning, and it's 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time now, so it's been a long day, but, getting set up for this and to hear stuff like that from guys like you that are part of the community, I truly tell you guys, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, it makes me realize that I got to keep pushing forward when I get frustrated sometimes with all the work that's involved. And so thank you, man. I appreciate,
absolutely
saying that. Rick, you got anything on that?
Yeah, what I'm really impressed with is there are a lot of people out there that try different bikes. And, being Lab here, we're into all bikes. But I'll tell you, even Ryan knows this. Last year when I went to buy, I was down in Las Vegas on my Road King and ended up buying my Ultra Limited. And I was looking at the Indian because I wanted an American bike, and it was the new bike out. But I'll tell you, the one thing that kept me with the Harley was the fact that I'd always had them. I knew how to work on them, but I always know that there's always something out there that you can find. If you've got a question, and I always laugh when, before I actually met Ryan in person, first thing I did was pull up his video on how to adjust the clutch. And I was pulling this up, and then a few months later I met him and I sent him and I said, "Hey, thanks for that video." And I'm pretty mechanical, but with this new hydraulic clutch, I didn't have that at the time, but I was like, hey, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So it's cool to hear you say things like that, like one of the deciding factors, because you knew you could find information on it. Because some of the other brands right now just don't have all that yet. It will probably come, and we're trying to provide some of that with our Indian maintenance video and some of our Victory stuff. But that really impressed me. That's because that's the same thing for me, is just, can you find something out there and do some work on the bike yourself?
Yeah, that's a good call. And, I think I said it in the last episode, which just released on podcast format with Greg Gaxiola, and I'll just reiterate it, is that, when we started this thing, that was one of the reasons we started, as I was just, and everybody knows us by now. We're pretty humble. I don't mean that in an egotistical way at all. I was looking around going, the quality of videos and the lack of detail, I just kind of got frustrated with some of it. And same with some of the, different podcasts and forums out there. So, we just thought, hey, what the hell? I'll give it a shot and see if I can at least do it a little bit justice. And I still think it's only a little bit justice, but to hear things like that, that's just really, really cool. In the chat room, I always mention I like to get everybody involved. Thanks. And it's hard on this one, Rick and Dar, because they can kind of, in the other chat, we use the chat wing when we're doing just live audio. You can kind of see names because it's attached to Facebook. So Drag NOCT, welcome, C4IOMC, and William Cody Case 2. I know that William Cody Case, of course, and he's a patron. And so I just like to throw out some of the guys that are in the chat. Thank you all for out there in the blabosphere, I like to call it. And hey, Dar, have you been on Blab before? Or is this your first Twitter and first Blab?
First time.
That's sweet, brother. You're the man. Just, you can't get everybody to just, for lack of a better term, just nut up and just come on, man. Cause we're kind of used to doing it, but I get it. A lot of people aren't used to being live audio, let alone live video. So good to you. But he's from California, dude. They can handle it down there, man.
Land of the Hollywood stars, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. So let's get into our main topic here. And you guys, we'll get through some of this material, and then obviously there's an open seat in the blab, and it is open. So please don't be offended if I don't bring you on right away. But if you want to take a seat and you want to say hi and give a quick shout out, or during the conversation, if you think you can bring something to it, or if you have a question, we'll bring people off and on, and I'll open up that fourth blab seat. But I can't, depending on if somebody's going through and talking like Dar's telling something, I can't just bring you on to interrupt right away. So I will get to it. So feel free, you guys out there, that if you want to take that open seat, just be patient, and I will click you in as I see that it will fit. So there you go. So main topic. Now, I just want to say that Dar was the one that brought this to my attention, and I want to say it was probably earlier in 2015, and we're so backed up here, and I thought it was really cool information. And we got Dar. I'll tell you that I appreciate you sending me that email, and that's the way the community works, guys. You guys can send us emails, and we try to we make a list and then we try to triage and prioritize things about what is really burning in the community. And so we kept getting emails on this particular subject. And so I referred back, because I had saved all Dar's stuff, and I was able to refer back to it. And then Rick, we got in Slack, which is a program in Law Abiding Biker that we use to organize everything. We started just hammering down how we're going to make a video about this, because we want to just, we get inundated with emails. And so when I'm able to make a video, when we get those emails, then it's so easy for us to respond, because we just refer people to the video. So that's why we did it, Dar. We were getting that many questions on it. And Dar was way ahead of the game, because Dar had already figured this stuff out and shared it with us. So let me just preface it by saying, again, guys, if you want to get that video, it's over on our YouTube channel or the website. Just search for it. Just call it Headset Hack. And I use that lightly because it's funny, because it's just a workaround is what it is. It's not, by saying hack, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I think it's a pretty cool deal, and it works for some people. And that is the boombox system, the Harley-Davidson boombox system. And Rick, you can jump in at any time on this too, or follow up to what I have to say. The boombox system, a lot of guys over the years, they got it. And I know when I first did, I was expecting it to have a headset profile, and that's a HSF, guys, is what that is. So I figured it's a Bluetooth connectivity. I should be able to buy a Bluetooth headset, like a helmet, and pair it. What do you guys, is that what you guys were thinking when you bought the bike too?
Yeah. When I bought mine in Vegas, and I rode down there with a Sena 5, me and Brian and his brother Tim. We had Senas all the way down just so we could communicate. It's a long ride, 1,000 miles. And so we, wanted that availability. And the dealer told me, oh yeah, it will take it. It'll take it. And so I go and buy this bike, and he's sitting there telling me that my Sena 5 is going to sink, and it's not. And the dealer was insistent, well, it must be something wrong with your headset. Must be something wrong with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's pairing just fine to my phone. I'm sitting here on the bike, and I'm making a phone call. And so that was my first inclination that there was something wrong with it. And then, of course, I started doing research when I got home on the issue. And following up with what you said, Ryan, we're still, even though we've got the video, we're still getting emails from people saying, hey, I've got my Sena hooked up to it, and I'm using this adapter. We're not contesting that at all. Like Darwin will tell you how he did it. We know there's a workaround. We know that you can get some of it done. The whole point of the video, of course, is saying there is no direct connect, because we still have people, believe it or not, followers out there who listen to us. We still have people emailing us telling us that they have a Sena or they have some type of Bluetooth device, and they're syncing it to their radio directly. and we're sitting here kind of, we want to be nice, but we're like, it's not possible. I've talked to the customer service rep. I've talked to the technical service manager. It's not possible. So that's why we wanted to bring you on, Dar, so you could kind of, now they're hearing it from somebody else. And so there is those workarounds. And, I hear there's a company out of Germany that's producing a unit that will actually allow some of those voice interactive commands. But to do that, it's like $500, $600. So it weighs what you want, what you're willing to pay for, and what's your advantage to it. So just be advised. I mean, anybody who's telling you can go directly from your headset to the radio, it's not true. Yeah, you can find workarounds, but you cannot just go directly. And some of these dealers don't even know that.
That's correct. For me, first of all, I got to preface it. This is all Harley's fault. I got sold on a bag of goods on Super Bowl Sunday when they showed the Rushmore commercial, and the phone rings and it's your boss or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I was like, oh, cool. I can answer phone calls and stuff. And, Victories can't do that. Cool. That made my decision. And so I went ahead. I had the same experience when I went down to the dealership and, got my bike, and the dealer was great. Orange County, Harley-Davidson, wonderful people down there. But, they were saying, yeah, it hooks up to your phone. You can look at your contacts and all of that. And I ride off and goes home and tries it out. And I spent like 2 hours trying to figure out. My phone ran out of battery because I couldn't figure it out how exactly it's going to work. And so, I started looking around on the internet, and really nobody knew what to do because this was still 2014. It's brand new, and nobody really had a solution. And so I started looking into Sena in particular because my buddies and I, when we ride, we're on a Sena communicator. So, we're talking intercom through that. And so I knew that my starting point had to be making sure the Sena works properly. And I knew that the Sena can hook up to a phone, and really trying to figure out, okay, how is the Sena going to hook up to my Harley boombox system?
Yeah, the Sena is a great product. I mean, we had nothing but positives to say for it doing our bike-to-bike communications. So tell us a little bit, Dar, once you decide, what Sena product did you go with?
So I have a Sena SMH10. It's one of the older models, but really is the tried and true. It's been around for a long time. In fact, they came up with SMH20 and then came up with S20, and now it's S10. So, my model's pretty old. It's a couple of years old, but it works really well. And I chose the Sena product because my friends were all riding with Sena products. So
your battery life, what kind of battery life are you getting out of that unit? I mean, obviously you're playing music and everything, and you'll talk to us a little in a few minutes about how you did your workaround. But that's one thing that people need to consider when they're talking about going to a Bluetooth headset, especially if you do a lot of touring. Ryan and us, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to, when we go our ride, do 500, 600 miles a day, ride for 8 hours. What kind of battery life are you getting out of that?
So I did go to Sturgis this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't hook up with you guys just because of schedules. So I rode from Southern California to South Dakota. And it was a two-day trip approximately. And my first leg was 850 miles or so.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Stopping at Colorado. It was a long, we took a detour. We kind of messed up around Arizona, and the places were booked up for hotels. So it was already 6 o'clock at night, and we had to ride another 4 hours to get to Colorado to get into a hotel room. That was a 15-hour ride, and my Sena held up for the time, and it did started to kind of fade out the last hour or so. So it pushed to the limit. I would say from beginning to end over 12 hours.
And was that just music, or were you doing any interpersonal communications or telephone calls or anything like that?
It was mostly music, and that there was a few intercom conversations, especially when we're running out of gas, where we're going to stop. And phone calls, I think I had like maybe 1 or 2 phone calls. That was it.
Okay, good. And that's why I wanted you to talk a little bit about the battery life and stuff like that. So go on with, once you decided with the Sena, how did you get to the next step that you wanted to go to try and find some way to have that Bluetooth capability where you're at least listening to your audio? Because there's a lot of misconceptions out there.
Yes.
That, well, if I do this, I'm going to be able to hear GPS prompts, and you can. There's also some people who think it's going to be in stereo, and depending on the product, there are some in stereo. And then there's one company that's producing one that they tell you right on the thing that's in mono. So there's a lot of different products out there. So how did you come about getting to where you got to where you said, okay, now I'm going to go Bluetooth? What did you need? What kind of research? And especially when you get to the end of it, I want to know, how long does it take you to fire up your bike and get this system going just to listen to music? Because that would drive me crazy. I admire you for going through all that work.
Yeah. And before, hey, Dar, hold that question. And I love it, Rick. It's rolling. And this is the great conversation. So let me just clean up a few little things in case you're tuning in. Because we get it, all of us 3 sitting here, but the audience may not completely. So to put it in really easy terms, guys, the boombox system was never designed. Harman Kardon designed the system. It was never out of the factory created with a headset profile. It was created with a handset profile, a hands-free, which is an HFP, a hands-free profile. It's different. A Bluetooth headset on a helmet is a different profile to go into that boombox. You can pair your phone with it. So you can take your iPhone or your Android. The boombox and Harman Kardon, Harley-Davidson, they made it that way. It's out of the factory. The firmware is made to do that with your smartphone, to have your contacts and to be able to listen to your music and all those, basically pushing from your phone to the boombox. That profile's there. That's a no-brainer. It's not a problem. The problem is the headset profile. It was not built that way. And my personal opinion is it's not the current version of the boombox from 14 to 15 and now 16. It doesn't have it. It's the same boombox. I don't think it's going to have it. I don't think they're going to do a headset profile where you compare directly with an aftermarket headset. In fact, Harley doesn't even make a Bluetooth headset that pairs directly with it. There's a reason they don't. The reason they don't is because it was never built that way. So that's what we're talking about. And now Dar's going to take over. And now that it won't pair directly, Dar's thinking, I got to have some functionality, and being the smart guy as he starts diving in. So take it from there, Dar, if you would.
Okay. So I looked into the SMH10 manual, how the Bluetooth connects to different devices. And it came down to the fact that, to put it in simple terms, the Bluetooth communicator on the SMH10 can hook up to pretty much any type of Bluetooth device that supports the hands-free profile, as well as A2 DP, that is the advanced audio distribution profile. And that's what the phone is. And so I knew that the Harley boombox was going to be able to push data out, meaning audio. The audio sound's going to come out somewhere. And I did look into the wire system, and to change the console to get the update, right at where the gas tank is, to hook up the wires. And I looked at the Harley dealership prices. That's the conversion is somewhere around $300. And I'm like, no, that there's got to be a better way. What if I took all the wires and somehow hooked it up to a Bluetooth transmitter, and the transmitter is connecting to my SMH10? I wonder if that would work. So what I did was I bought all the parts as if I was going to do a wire system on my Harley that hooks up to the back of my boombox infotainment system. And then I bought a Sena DIN pin, 7-pin connector that has a 3.5 millimeter jack. And I hooked that up, and that goes to a Bluetooth communicator that I simply bought at Amazon. It was a Inigo BT9. It supports A2DP profile, so it streams music. And so I really didn't know that it was going to work. It was really pure luck. And it was pure luck that I got a Bluetooth communicator that did stereo output sound. Because I looked into the review, a lot of people used it for their home entertainment system, and they can walk around in their house with their headphones on and so on and so forth. I went ahead, looked at the review on Amazon, and, just went for it. So, long and short, I put all the wires together. I turned on my Sena SMH10. I turned on my Bluetooth communicator, the Inigo BT9, and voila, it hooked up. It worked. And I started hearing the radio sound out of my boombox infotainment system. But what I didn't know, and I found out later, was that this is a transmitter. It's transmitting, pushing out audio sound. So when I wanted to talk to the boombox entertainment system, like a GPS and prompting and trying to do any of that two-way communication, that doesn't work, because it's not going to receive whatever my Sena is pushing out, because I have a transmitting Bluetooth transmitter. It transmits out, not accepting my voice in, and the profile doesn't do it either. So that's really where I stopped. And I was glad that I have that set up, because I was, the only thing, I'm a simple guy. I just want to listen to my AM talk radio. I want to listen to my podcasts, and that's really about it. I wasn't going to, do any GPS mapping or anything like that. And really just riding around locally, I don't need to have that GPS navigation. And so, that's me, and that's what I do. It's really simple. And, it worked out for me, and a little bit of luck and a little bit of reverse engineering and looking up really at the Sena SMH10 manual and how it would work, and, kind of work backwards like that.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I mean, everybody has, I've got the ultra limited. I've never used the CB. I tried using the intercom one time just to see how it worked, and never used it again. And so I basically just used mine, and I looked at Bluetooth as well. I just couldn't absorb buying another Sena and then buying a communicator. It was kind of cool. Ryan showed me the one that you got, and that was a fantastic deal, because if you go with like Sierra Electronics or Sena's, I mean, you're talking some big money, $200-300 just to have the transmitter, and those still don't allow you to use the voice recognition system. To my knowledge, there's only one company, and that's that German model that was being sold by one company in the U.S. And if I'm incorrect, people feel free to comment. I did very little research on it, maybe only a couple hours, because we got an email on it. But this German company, theirs will do complete, but not even including the Sena, just their Bluetooth system that you hit once for stereo, you hit the button twice and you get mono, but you do get to talk to your GPS and tune in, is damn near $500. And now you've got another $150 to $300 for the Bluetooth module on your helmet. That's a lot of money to save a wire. For me, I'm a simple guy too, knowing that all I'm going to do is listen to some music, and occasionally on these long rides, it's kind of nice to be able, if somebody calls me, I can at least answer it, or I really like the voice recognition. It's not for everybody, but I used that voice recognition several times when I was coming back from Vegas, just to say, tune to or GPS coordinates. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And I also have to comment that, by simply having different Bluetooth systems connecting to each other, you're losing the sound quality. So, I am compromising on sound quality on this kind of setup. But again, I'm listening to AM radio, talk radio. To me, it really doesn't matter. But, when I was going for my ride to Sturgis, it wasn't as good. And the experience wasn't as good, the rock into Van Halen with, not really equalized music or audio sound. And so, this is totally, like I said, like Ryan said, this is a hack. This is a workaround. It's not the best solution, but if it works for any of you guys out there, that's great. It's simple. I can tell you that I spent between the two wires that I got and the Bluetooth transmitter, I spent like $70, $80. That was it. And it was easy. I knew how to take off the fairing from watching all the law-abiding biker videos, and I knew where to go to unplug those wires and plug them in. So, it was, for me, under $100 was a good investment for AM talk radio.
Yeah, no, totally agree, Darwin. It is, and if you guys we're going to go over a lot of this tonight. We are going over it. All this and all the parts that Dar has shared with me, I have links, and I'll have links in the show notes, lawabidingbiker.com/ and whatever the episode number is, plus the video that I already did for it. There'll be a link to that. So if it is something you're interested in, you don't have to worry about what to use. So what Dar did is, he obviously has his phone. Dar, do you have a biker gripper yet?
I do.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, because if not, I'll send you one. I'll send you something anyways for being on here. I'll figure it out. You're getting something, but I want to make sure.
Maybe we should, when we have the biker booms come out, maybe we should.
Let's send him a biker.
It's a wired set, but it's cool because it's behind the neck, over the ears.
He's got a full face though, Dart, like me.
Oh yeah, but this is for.
I have a half face.
Yeah, this is for half helmets.
We'll send you one, brother, on us.
It's even got a volume on the line, so you don't even have to use the toggle or the radio dial on the older bikes to adjust the volume. You can just literally, just like a cell phone, go down and adjust the volume right in front of you, right on your chest. So
yes, and we are. I'm glad you brought that up, BD. We are at the end of the episode going to talk about our headset that we right now are bringing to our store, and we're going to send Dar one. It's a wired set, but it's fully functional. But that's good, and keep that. Don't let me forget, Big Daddy, on that. So we'll send you one of those, Dars. Just play with it, test it, see what you think. So what Dar's doing is he's got his phone up on his biker gripper. Of course, we sell the biker grippers right in our Law Abiding Biker store, lawabidingbiker.com/store. It's a cell phone motorcycle mount. And then he's going Bluetooth from his phone, and stop me anytime, Dar, but I'm just kind of breaking this down for the listening audience. He's going from his phone, and he's pumping his music on his phone via Bluetooth to his boombox infotainment system. Then what he's done is he's coming out of his boombox with a wire, and I'll give you guys the part number here in a minute. It's a Harley aftermarket, because he's got to get basically a 7-pin connection. He's got to come out of the back of the boombox, which you can, and the 7-pin is just a communications port. It comes stock on Ultras and things like that. Ultra Limiteds, classics like BD's bike. The Street Glides, Road Glides don't come with it, but they're ready for it. And you buy this aftermarket kit for $70, and you put that on, and then he can plug into that 7-pin like a communications port, and he can come out of that into a 3.5 millimeter, which is a regular headphone jack. Then a Bluetooth transmitter. And then that Bluetooth transmitter is he syncs it with his wireless headset. And so he's going into the phone, into the boombox, out of the boombox wirelessly to his headset so that he can hear the music coming out of his boombox. Did I say that okay, Dar?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep, that is exactly how I do it. And because the Sena can accept more than one Bluetooth profile, my phone is also Bluetooth connected to the Sena headset. And so when I take my phone calls, I'm pressing the toggle on the Sena unit to answer the phone call. Because if I press the answer on the boombox screen, the mic portion is not going to come out because I'm transmitting sound only, not receiving sound. So there's no mic for that. You cannot press answer the phone on your infotainment system. You have to do it on your Bluetooth, on your Sena. And so in that case, like I said, it's a workaround for the music, for the talk radio that I listen to. It's audio only.
That's great. Good follow up there, Dar. And so that's all he's doing, and it's a great workaround, and it does work. And so when he gets a phone call, he's just skipping the boombox is what he's saying altogether, and he's taking the phone call directly from his phone to his Sena headset. Now, I'll tell you guys real quick, I do something similar. It's almost similar besides the complete workaround. So I have a Schuber C3 helmet, and I have the SRC Cardo system, which is actually a neck roll that goes under the helmet. Of course, I have videos of all this over on lawabidingbiker.com, free videos, and I show you how to use that. But it's actually just, it integrates into the helmet. It has a boom mic and all that. And so the alternative to that, obviously, is the way I do it is if I have my full face on, I just skip my boombox altogether. Unless I'm in town, I might flip my shield up and run my boombox, the speakers and everything. If I'm on long trips like to Sturgis, I'm just going direct from my phone to my Cardo wireless system and speakers in my helmet. So honestly, I don't know, Dar, on that Cardo, because I've never tested it, if I could do that Bluetooth transmitter and do the same thing with a Cardo. I'm not sure of their capability.
I think you have to look into the manual, to see what kind of profile, like you mentioned, that your Cardo can accept. And that's how I found out that, the Sena can accept multiple profiles, the A2DP as well as the HFP, profile. So, you have to look into the manual to see if that works or not.
Yeah, good. And so that's basically, the A2 and all that is basically, that's allowing you to do the two things at the same time, basically grab your phone and still be pumping from the boombox to your headset. So that's something good to look at if you guys are, good information, Dar, if you guys are looking for, a Bluetooth headset that's possible. The part number that you're going to need for 14 and on, if you're going to come out and you want to, of course, it'll all be in the show notes, but I just ordered one, and it is Harley-Davidson Boom Audio, Music, and Communications Kit, part number 692000865, $69.95. I ordered it. There'll be an affiliate link in the show notes. That's right, no additional cost to you if you click that link, but we do get a small kickback if you purchase it. Basically, what that does is comes out of the back of your boombox. If you watch my video, I actually have video cutaways of Dar because he was nice enough to video his setup, and I used his video footage. He sent it to me, and I incorporated it into mine. And there's cutaways of his bike and how he has that set up. But you just plug it into the back of it's an OEM plug basically, and you plug it in, and then you can, technically you're supposed to bring the 7-pin, and I talked to Rick about this today. You're supposed to bring the 7-pin up, and it connects to right up at the front of your tank, I should say, right where you sit, between the seat and the tank right there. Dar just put his, where did you end up putting yours? Why don't you tell him?
What I did was I just simply put some zip ties and I tied it behind my fairing, right behind the boombox. So, if you open up the the front fairing and you install, the wire, I simply looped it and I put a couple of zip ties together, make sure that it wasn't, going everywhere. And because when I did it, I also did the antenna as well, the fairing antenna. So I did the whole thing together. Everything's nicely wrapped up. And, thanks to watching the videos, know exactly, where the screws go and where the fittings would give me some room. And so all I did was just, put it back behind the fairing and the wire comes out of the little compartment where you can store, small items like a cell phone or something like that. And I simply made the hole a little bit bigger. I drilled into it as plastic, and I was able to squeeze the 7-pin wire through, and my Bluetooth communicator is stored in that compartment.
That's a great deal, especially for your setup, because then it's kind of invisible. All you need is that 3.5 coming out. So that's actually a very good solution. I'm on our blog right now and the video that I made, guys. And it's lawabidingbiker.com/Harley-boom-box-headset-hack. But again, you can search for that. But I've got all the equipment in here. And I think Dar mentioned it, but it is a BTR9 Indigo wireless. It's on Amazon. And I've got a link in the show notes for you guys. It gives us some kickback if you do purchase. It's $24.95, which is super cheap for what you're accomplishing. Yeah,
it's a great deal. Dar definitely did a lot of research for the rest of you bikeaholics, that if you are looking at going that route, and if that's all you're caring about, it's the music, that's fine. We were just getting inundated with emails of people saying, well, why can't I do this Bluetooth? Why can't I do that? And just because I'll be honest with you guys, just because we're coming out with a wired set, I mean, we're not trying to push you away. That's why we brought Dar on here, so he can explain to you what he did. If that's what you're looking for and you don't want the wire and you want the Bluetooth, just understand it's, we still have people, even today, I was reviewing an email of somebody saying, hey, you guys are wrong, man. I connected my Sena right to my boom audio. And I'm like, that's not possible. Yes, it is. It's not, because the technician just told me it's not possible. So understand, when people tell you this, we want you guys to fully understand. When people tell you this, they're doing the workaround. We want you guys to have the straight facts.
And those people aren't necessarily saying that, like BD Kane says. They aren't saying that because they're trying to be argumentative. They don't. Like one guy emailed and said, well, he borrowed a bike and it worked fine. And we asked him we always ask a few questions because, hey, if somebody can do it, just like Dar, if somebody could and it could allow voice back into the boombox, well, that's some serious stuff, because Harman Kardon doesn't even know that. And I want to know because I want to share it. And so we know what questions to ask. And as soon as you ask a question, they realize really quick that it's a workaround. And
I'm not saying that to be negative at all.
No, and I know you aren't.
I'm just saying that, some guy gets on and goes, my buddy says he's got wireless and he can talk and he can use the voice recognition. Right now, to the best of our knowledge, other than that German company. And
it's not, that's not even confirmed, dude. And I've had other emails from guys saying they tried that and it didn't work. So if that worked, that company would be marketing the shit out of that thing, dude, because that is a gold mine. So I have read very, very mixed, and I've got.
I told you guys up front, I've done 2 hours of research on it and their website, and so if somebody's got more information, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email. I'd love to have more information on it. But right now, I can tell you, I have tested the Harley system and I've tested our system, and I have full function capability, whether I tell the GPS to do something. So I'm sticking with wired until Harley fixes this problem in the first place. And I think, Ryan, you're right on. I don't think they're going to fix it, because they would have to totally remap what type of Bluetooth profiles they're going to allow in it.
Yeah, I just, and again, like Dar said, it's not for everybody. It's for some people. We're not talking bad about it at all. I think it's awesome. That's not the point of this. The point was to share the information with the motorcycle community. I think it's brilliant what he figured it out. I'm like, he put some time into it. You know, at the end of the day, everybody has to choose what their needs are, you know? Of course, the wired solution is at this juncture in the game is the only way you're going to get 100% integration. That's the way Harley-Davidson. Believe me, if a Bluetooth headset worked, Harley-Davidson would be the first one to come out with one and then mark it up 500% and stick it to you. So,
and they would have a patent on it,
yes,
and nobody could do it. Just like our headset, he had the original patent on this headset, and as soon as this patent, not patent expired, but as soon as somebody else could start making them, Harley-Davidson came out with a model. So,
yes,
they're going to definitely, if they want a Bluetooth module, Harley will come out with it. They will make it happen. I just don't think that that's a priority for them. And hey, Dar, before we go to our mid break stuff, you're going to remind us. You got to tell us about that new law in California where they're not even allowing wired headsets on motorcycles anymore. Because I tried to look it up a little bit, but it talked a lot about motor vehicles rather than just bikes. Yes. And maybe some of our C4 IOMC, I know you're from Cali. Maybe you can talk in the chat room and tell us more about that.
Yeah, let's take I do want to thank real quick, and then that's a good question, Rick, definitely. Oh yeah, Bikeaholics, that is right. This episode brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. They obviously care about the biker community by supporting this very show. So let's show them some love, huh, guys? Biker Planet, it's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers, even if you're not interested in dating. Looking for a date or relationship? Well, then find a dating relationship with someone that loves motorcycles and the lifestyle just like you. Not looking for a date? No problemo, Bikeaholics. That's right. Then just simply head over there and connect with other bikers around the world. Plan rides, meetups, or just socialize. Heck, the website is super clean. I've been on it, guys, and it's user-friendly. Chat, search, see who's online, browse photos, check your own private mailbox. No commitment. It's free, of course. Check it out, guys. Use our special custom link, though, so you can get all the perks and a lifetime discount of 50% should you choose to become a full member. lawabidingbiker.com/Biker Planet. Guys, that is the link to use. There you go. We got to thank some patrons later, too, and stuff. All right. Do you remember the question there, Dar?
Yes. So what B.D. Kane was talking about is in California, if you're in California, it's the California Vehicle Code 27400. And I don't have the exact language up, but basically, if you're riding a bicycle, like a regular bicycle, mountain bike or road bike, or if you're driving a car, you cannot be riding with a headphone or headset or earbuds in your ears anymore. It's a brand new law in 2016. I'm not sure what the other states have. I just know that, when my buddies and I go ride our road bikes, on the streets, we have to be careful because, if the music's too loud, you can't hear the traffic. It is a problem. It is a safety issue. But then I'm really not sure how it would or may not apply to motorcycling. That's something that, it remains to be seen. But for sure, you cannot be riding with your Beats or your Bose headphone set driving a vehicle, or if, you're riding a bicycle or a mountain bike.
Yeah, in Washington State, that's been the law here for quite a while as far as driving a vehicle. So we're familiar with that aspect of it. I got an email last week saying that when we were talking about the Biker Boom headset, a guy from Germany was telling me that over there it's illegal to have any kind of headset or wires at all going to your bike. I didn't know that. So
that's interesting. Yeah, and
I didn't know. And
Dar emailed me today about that. And so, that let's brief on it. It could be a whole nother topic, which is good. In Washington State, it's been that way for a long time, but I guess I don't want to confuse, you have to look up the definition of earbuds. So in a car, it's been that way for a long time in Washington. You can't have this on. You can't have these on because it blocks out all noise, including emergency vehicles. You can't have earbuds in, 2 earbuds. You can have 1 because you can talk on your phone, and it's a no texting, no cell phone state. So that allows you to go ahead and do that. Helmets are completely different because I think, obviously if you had the earbuds in there in your helmet, I've done it. I'll tell you. The officers can't, they're not really enforcing that because it's really hard to tell, number one. So the earbuds is a different thing, but in a helmet, remember, the speakers are in the helmet. There's still free space between your head and the helmet, which allows you all know that wear a full face helmet, you still hear noise. So it doesn't apply to that situation. I think it would probably still apply if somebody wanted to push the issue to the actual like Apple earbuds in both ears, but a helmet and speakers built into a helmet, it's completely exempt from that particular thing. So I don't know about California, Dar, but I'm guessing they might have accepted, because and even if they did that law, it would be kind of a dumb law, because how can an officer tell what speakers you have in a helmet? I mean, nor would they care. They're like a little bit busier than caring what kind of speaker setup you have in your helmet.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Ryan. I think that, really the intent was to keep bicyclists and mountain bikers safe, so that when they're riding on the road, California, you got many busy streets. A lot of people on the coast, they drive their cars crazy, really fast, and not paying attention to the road when you're riding a bicycle or a mountain bike can be hazardous. And definitely, obviously, with the new generation, everyone has a nice $300 headphone set. They don't want kids to be on their learner's permit to be driving a car with headphones on it. And I think it's not going to be an issue with helmets and motorcycling, and because the intent was really to look after the bicyclists and the motor vehicle, the car, the cagers.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the number one. I mean, I see a lot of guys with Harleys, the big baggers and stuff that have the wired sets, but I see a lot more gold wingers and stuff like that, and that's a big market in California. So I'm sure that it probably wouldn't be along the lines of the motorcycle headsets. Like the set that we're coming out with is on top of the ear, but you can still hear if a car's honking at you or something like that. And so I'm thinking that's pretty well. That's pretty well going to be safe, but I didn't find any language in the law that I read that spoke about motorcycle headsets. So, yeah,
good call. I'm dicking around on here on Blab, and I'm telling them to make sure I have more claps than you because it's a competition who buys beer.
Yeah,
no, dude,
if Law Dog was here, he would call you a girl, or he'd call you something worse. Just like last night. You guys don't understand. We have so much fun conversations, and I won't get into all of our conversations. But last night, I was talking about shipping one of these headsets to Ryan and to Oscar to test on his 2013. Because when we come out with the headsets, we're also going to come out with an instructional video about how to set it up on your 13 and older and your 14 and newer, so that when you get it, you actually know how to go into your menu and switch it to the headsets, because we want you guys to know that. It does no good just to sell you a headset and then you're unsatisfied with, how do I set this up? So we're going to do that. And Law Dog's like, you guys are starting to look like you have full face helmets. It's just that you guys have electronics all over your face. So it's kind of funny.
It is. Oh, yeah. He always busts my balls about the full face helmet. Real quick, I want to thank just a couple patrons. Oh yeah, patrons, guys, just like Dar Chang on Blab right here. We love mingling, guys. We've got to know so many people in that private Facebook group. I haven't met him in person, but I guarantee when I do, it will happen. It's like I already know him. And Max Butcher of Nashville, Indiana, thank you, brother. He became a patron. Matthew Head of Gold Coast, Australia. Shout out Australia. Rick Kemner of Troy, New York. That's right. New York. Love it. Upgraded his patron level from to upped his pledge per piece of content, guys. there are different levels over there, and you can pledge a certain amount per piece of content, no risk to you. That's right, you can set a monthly cap, guys, and there are rewards. And Dar Chang can tell you, obviously he's in the private Facebook group. You can pledge a certain amount and get in that, and then there's t-shirts, and then all of our top level, you can get free videos, but it's all over at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Make sure you head over there and you can get all the details and get more involved in the community. It's growing fast. Dar knows the Facebook group is blowing up. Community, bikers helping bikers, guys. And I get in there and it just makes me glow because I never knew when I started it that it would be what it is. It's unbelievable. It makes me smile every time I get in there and I see everybody helping each other. And I comment as much as I can, but I can back off some stuff because the guys really are helping. And there's so many guys in there that know way more than me. Yeah, I got the podcast and do the videos, and I'm always learning, but I'll be the first to tell you that there's guys in there way smarter than me, and Dar's one of them. He knows a lot of stuff. We all have our niches, I guess. And so when I can lean on guys like Dar in the community, and then on top of it, they come on here and they're spending their night on Blab here. So really, really awesome stuff.
I love that this group is starting to take over. It's no longer...
It's a revolution, biker revolution.
Yeah, it's no longer a law-abiding biker private group. I mean, even though that's what it's called, it's not just the 8 of us that go on there that are now involved in this on the recording side. These guys are taking it over. And just last week, I mean, we had like a whole revolution of guys upping their donations and stuff. And I mean, you don't understand how flattering that is. I mean, for me, a lot of you guys, we each have our niche in here. I mean, Ryan runs the company, obviously, but you got everybody that's on the podcast has their niche. And then when it comes to the company, they're involved in the mechanics, the recording, the editing. I'm getting ready to take over the store for Ryan just because he needs more time with the podcast and the editing and stuff. So you guys doing that makes all this happen. I mean, him having that good studio, us being able to buy parts and make projects so that you guys can then use them. Without you, we wouldn't be anywhere. So thanks from the bottom of my heart too.
And I can tell you, with the very short time that I had with you guys and learning how to work on my bike, and like I said before, I've never owned a Harley before. I'm pretty good with mechanics. I work on my own cars, and I can tell you it's invaluable to have the right kind of information, the correct information, and having the video there. I've changed the oil on my bike several times now, and I keep on forgetting, is it 28 ounces or is it 38 ounces? What is it? And I have to go back to the video because, it's just something that I want to be sure of. I don't want to mess it up. I know I can do it. I just need a little help. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Love hearing it. Definitely a community. It is what we call the biker revolution, guys. That is for sure. So, hey, Dar, just let you know, you got to work or whatever in the morning. You can, we want to keep you on. Of course, I want you to be here, but don't feel, because we're going to go a little longer than I anticipated. So if you have to bag out, it's okay. Don't feel like...
I'm not working tomorrow.
Okay.
So
awesome. Okay.
We can go as long as you want, boss.
Sweet, man. I love it. I
might have to bag out then because I got a 5 a.m. call for work. So.
Okay. I don't know how
go all night. I'll let you guys go all night.
Yeah, and we're not going to go all night, but we're just going to go longer than anticipated. But the community said we don't care how long the episodes go because Dar knows back when we first started, I really tried to keep it an hour, and then people were like, "You can go longer. We don't care. We'll stop halfway and then we'll pick it up the next day." So I don't worry as much. And this is just great information. And there's an open seat, guys. If anybody watching live in the Blabosphere out there, we do have an open seat. We're going to continue on and we will wrap it up here. But we'll definitely open up a seat. If you have any questions or you want to say hi, we'll allow a couple, people in that want to do that. So you just got to go to the open seat. So, hey, Dar, since I have you on here, man. So you got the 14, right? The Street Glide.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
yes.
are you doing anything to it? Did you do exhaust or intake or anything like that yet? Or are you waiting? Or are you going to leave it?
Yeah. So I got a K&N filter, but it's just a filter. I kept the stock 103 box that came with it because I was listening to your podcast, and I don't remember whether it was Oscar or Chewy, one of them were saying, or maybe it was you saying, the box design was great. Why fix something that's not broken? And so, I just got a filter from K&N. My setup is I have Reinhardt exhaust. It's a 4-inch exhaust, just a slip-on. I'm not doing any headers, primarily because I'm concerned about fuel efficiency and how much gas I'm going to be spending going on trips just within the local area. And I have my setup is using the DynoJet Power Commander 5 with a map, and I changed I changed the headlights to truck light, which is the Karayakin headlights, and I changed my grips to Karayakin ISO grips that I actually saw at Sturgis. And I was at the Karayakin, the booth, and I was sitting on the Street Glide, and oh man, these grips feels really good, and had the ISO Boss idle throttle ISO Boss on there. So that's my basic setup. I haven't got any fancy seats, no heated grips, but I was actually just talking to somebody 2 days ago who was checking out my bike at work, and I was chatting it up, and he paid a lot of money to get the heated grips for himself. And I said, have you looked into YouTubes and look into any type of videos? And he mentioned Law Abiding Biker, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to do it, but I was afraid. And I said, the videos are really clear. You're going to be able to do it on your own and whenever you want to do it. So, and that's how I hooked up with some guy, just basically off the street, who's a neighboring business that works in a neighboring business. So, there's a lot of people in Southern California that's listening to you guys and listening to the podcast, and I hope that they can get involved and support the group.
Hey, tell that story about the T-shirt. You got to tell all of our followers, because you put that on Facebook, but some people are newer followers I know that are in our chat room right now. You got to tell about that one.
Sure. So I had a dinner catching up with a friend who works at the fire department. I used to work for a fire department, so we're just chatting it up at dinner time. And I was wearing the Law Abiding Biker Media T-shirt. And towards the end of the dinner, we were outside, basically saying goodbye. I shook hands, and we were starting to part our ways. And my friend, he is approximately 5'8", 5'9", approximately 170 or so, white, male, clean cut. Kind of look like someone we know here in the group.
Not no 5'8". Ryan's not no 5'8". Come on now.
On a good day, I am 5'8". Damn it.
And so these two guys came up to my friend and said, "Ryan Urlacher, you look just like someone on the internet." And I was like, I was already walking away, and I heard this, and I started to chuckle because I knew exactly who they were referring to, and my buddy had no idea, and I'm sure he was just like, "Oh, no, you got the wrong guy," or whatever. But I'm pretty sure because they saw my T-shirt and they saw who I was talking to, someone who looked like Ryan, they decided to go up to Ryan, and get their, time with Ryan. And so it was pretty funny. And And later on, I called my friend up, and he's like, oh, no, it's just the wrong guy and whatever. And I said, well, I actually, listened to this podcast, and I know exactly who they were referring to.
That's awesome, man. And Dar sent me that story, and then I can't remember if he posted in the private Patron only Facebook or is it email? I got it here. Email sent me, and I was like, that's really cool, though. And the funny thing is, I actually wished I would have been there because I would I love meeting the bikers and stuff, and I wish I could get down there more. We're definitely going to ride for sure, Darwin, for sure. What do you?
Absolutely.
We will definitely do.
Come on down.
Yeah, we will. Gosh, and even maybe this year where we got a Colorado ride that we're going to do, but we also, Vance and Hines has been a big supporter of us since we started, and we want to go down there. I've got to connect down there, and we want to tour their factory. They've got a couple different, and so that would put us in California anyways, but definitely I got your information. So Rick, you look like you're ready to just say something.
No, I was just reflecting on what he was talking about and all the stuff that he's done to his bike. And that's the beauty of Harley-Davidson. I think that's why I've never gone away from him, because there's just so much stuff you can do, whether it's Kiriakin grips or, Vance and Hines slip-on mufflers. You can do something that simple, or you can go full on out. And we're going to have pretty soon for Project Cholo, followers that in the private group know about it, but it's a bike. I'm a Road King that I'm choloing out. I'm kind of doing that LA style to it. And, it's kind of cool. We're going with a whole new style of EFI module on it, something that we've never done before because it's older. It's a 2001, so it won't take the FP3, or else I'd be using the FP3.
Vance and Hines Fuel Pack 3, yeah.
Which I do have on my 14, and it's the best product that I've found, but we've got the Power Vision videos too, but it's just cool that with the Harley-Davidsons, you can do that. I mean, we're going to come out with that new EFI on that 2001. That'll be a cool video to have out for some people with older bikes. And listening to him talk, it reminds me of my past 13 Harleys or so that I've owned and what I've done. And, some people are scared even of putting grips on. And so we turn around and give a video. I mean, you'd be amazed on an older Harley with the throttle and the idle cables. People they'll go pay a dealer $50 to put on a set of grips because they're scared and they don't know how to. And every once in a while, we'll see a video comment like, hey, thanks for having this video. I just saved myself $50 putting, new grips, new Kiriakin ISO grips, or a throttle boss, or whatever they're doing. So it's very cool to hear that. And it's pretty cool that, there's so many options out there for different people, different strokes for different folks, as they say. Yeah,
no, that's awesome, man. And if there's one thing, if you guys can't support us, financially right now, everybody's in a different, I see the comments. If everybody's in a, different financial situation, and we get that, we're really sensitive to that. And we don't take it lightly when we get donations and stuff like that and patron support. But at least head over and just subscribe to that YouTube channel, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/YouTube. If you just go to that, it really helps us. And we won't get deep into it, but we're obviously at this point, at this juncture, we're getting some serious looks by some big motorcycle companies knocking on our door because they want to be on the podcast. They want sponsorships and things like that. And we're going to be real careful about that. That's a whole nother episode. Trust me, we'll never sell out. It's got to be something that fits for you guys and something we believe in. And so we've turned away a lot too, just because we don't believe in their products or their company or the way they do business. So don't fear. We're going to be really cautious. We're never going to lose track of what we're doing here. But we also obviously need to keep giving you guys what we give you. We need to look at finances and things like that. And the patrons are really still at this point moving us forward and all that. So Rick, do you want to talk real quick about since we're talking about headsets before we close it out, do you want to announce, we've been working hard and I've been coding the back of the store and doing some stuff trying to get it going. And we been on this venture for over a year because Dar, obviously, we realized after much testing and Dar's information that there wasn't the headset or a headset profile in the boombox. So the wired solution is the way, but Harley charges $120 for their wired half helmet solution. And Rick really took this project on. I give him 100% credit. He has taken over the store within the next month completely. I'll kind of wipe my hands clean of that part of it. I guess I won't completely wipe my hands clean, but he's going to handle most of it. But he really took this project on and wanted to find a solution that was better than the Harley wired headset and half the price. That was quite an undertaking because he's been in contact with people all over the world trying to figure out a manufacturer that would do this and that could keep the cost down. So why don't you just take it from there and then we'll run the episode out here.
Well, it started with probably about 20, 25 emails over the last 6 months or so that Ryan's had me kind of moderating emails. And people were saying, hey, I'm reading such bad reviews about the headset on, Harley-Davidson.com about the half helmet. What do you think? And well, I've never used it. I do have the full face model that comes with the Ultra Limited, and that's what's on my full face helmet for the winter. My thought is that if I have the shield down because it's cold, it's nice to have the speakers in there. And but to buy that system, it came free with the Ultra Limited, but to buy that, it's a very expensive system, $200 or so. And so I told Ryan, you know what? These people are asking for this. Maybe we should look into this. And so we got lucky, and I looked at some manufacturers, some U.S. manufacturer guys that were basically just taking like video game headsets and then, tying in a 7-pin, and didn't look very good, looked kind of cheesy. And we're not going to push out a piece of crap product. I'll be honest with you. We just don't. And because of our market on the boom audio video, and me kind of putting feelers out on social media and some of our blog stuff, we had a guy come to us and he says, hey, I have the original patent that Harley, well, he says Harley stole from him, but obviously he didn't. But he had the original patent for a wraparound headset, and he wanted to partner with us. And so I said, you send me a product, and if I like it, I'll call you back. I mean, for lack of a better term, I was a little bit more nicer than that, but that's basically what we are. When companies want to send us stuff, okay, send it to us. We'll test it. And sent me a headset, and I was pretty impressed with it. It was the same as, it was a good quality. The speakers were good. Calling Ryan at doing 80 down the interstate, he could hear me loud and clear. Really dug it. So we turned around and we looked at other options overseas, and Lurch and Scrappy and I just decided, if we're going to do this, we want this to be made in America. Because I mean, we're an American company, American people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know we got Canadian and Australian people that are patrons that are supporting us, but our thought was, why go overseas and have them produce a product that we can't really control and we can't see? Versus this guy's in the U.S. He'll send us test products. He'll if we're unhappy, he'll take care of us. And that's the impression we were getting. So that's what we did. So we think we've got a very good, high quality product. People who are interested in a wired headset are gonna like it. The good thing is we're gonna sell it for $69.95. The Harley set is $119.99 or $95. So we're not making a bunch of money on this. We want to get it out there. We want people to have the option. You get this, even if you use it at that price, you can get it. And if you only use it 2-3 times a year, you don't feel guilty about it. It's $70, right? I don't know. What do you think, Dar? I mean, you're talking $70, and if you use it once or twice a year, it's worth it versus you're not spending $120. And little things that we requested, we wanted a heavy duty wire sheath, so that instead of it just being the bare, just regular wires like you'd see on a set of headphones like this, it's actually got a nice nylon sheath over it. It's actually got a volume control on it. on the deal. So you don't have to even hit the toggle. If you want to turn it down, you got your cruise control on, you can just hit the little dial and turn it down. And then the 7-pin is a really good heavy duty. So we think it's going to be good. And we do have, it's an extended boom mic too. If you've ever played around with the Harley units, I'm not talking any smack at all, because I use one in my full face, but their boom mics are very short. This system, we specifically wanted an extended boom mic that actually reaches over further. So they had to make those adjustments for us. So hopefully you guys will like it and give it a shot. For $69.95. I mean, like I said, if you get it and you use it a couple times a year when you're out on a long ride, and I realize that's when people use the headsets, really. I mean, you're not going to use it to drive to work. So tell me what you think, Dar. I mean, I know you're using the wireless, but you've heard about our product. We're going to send you one, and we want to hear your feedback. But do you think there's we're hoping there's a market for this, because you're very technologically advanced in this stuff. You've been experimenting. What do you think?
I think for anybody who's riding a half helmet already, for that kind of price, you can't pass up on it. First of all, I mean, it's something that you can, anyone that has already purchased a half helmet has the money to purchase this boom headset. But more importantly, I think you hit it on the head, nail on the head, that you have local control. Having the manufacturer, you have that direct connection to control the quality. I don't want to make a long story out of it, but I have friends that travel to out of the country to do computer work, and I can tell you that the products that are made outside of the United States, the mapping on the programming and on the electronics are just not as good, because their goal is to make as many as possible. And so they will do it the cheapest way, things that would break down, and it's just not worth it. And to have a company that's local, that you can connect with, to have that kind of control, it really helps to assure the quality is there.
Yeah, this is for those that are live viewers, and obviously by the time this podcast comes out, we'll probably have it. But to give you an idea, we actually in the industry, we call it white labeling. If I'm wrong, Ryan, correct me.
No, that's what's called white label.
You guys can see this. That's what it's going to look. That's what our label on it's going to look like.
It's called the Biker Boom. We haven't mentioned the name of it yet. We are working on that patent. It's the Biker Boom headset is what it is.
And so last night, because I knew I was going to show this today, I put it out the photograph strictly to all the Patron members in the private website. So that's what we're going for. We realize that not everybody's going to want a headset. Not everybody wants to listen to music or have the ability to do the voice recognition or having somebody call them. But we think at that price, we can get some people interested. They buy one and maybe they use it on that one or two big long rides a year, and they can use to have the GPS. See, we're thinking beyond music here. I mean, that's what most people are going to use it for. We're thinking like when you're sitting there driving through California, or you're driving through areas where you're unfamiliar with. I say California because it is congested and stuff, or major metropolitan areas. But this headset, you can hear all the prompts from the GPS. You can actually use your voice recognition in 14 and newers and say, find me the nearest gas station. And boom. You're going to be able to do that with this headset. So we're hoping this becomes maybe a safe way for people to use the technology that they have, and especially on the touring. We realize this is more of a touring headset. For me, I ride 150 miles to go see my brothers in the Sworn Few anyway. So, I'll probably, and I don't wear a half helmet, so I'm probably not going to wear it for that. But but I do see a complete piece for it. I'm excited about it. I'm probably going to buy a half helmet just because I want to be able to use the headset for the long distance, because I'm not going to put a headset on my nice 3/4 helmets that I have, and I won't say the manufacturers, even though I'd love to give them some love, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's an open seat, guys. We're going to wind it down here, but there is an open seat if somebody wants to jump in on the Blabosphere and say hi or ask any questions. We got just a little time, but we're going to wind it down. So it is called the Biker Boom. It's the Biker Boom headset. It's B.D. Kane's little child that he's reared and breastfed along the way, and he's coddling it, but he's done a great job on this project, all jokes aside. He's worked really, really hard, and so hopefully we'll get it in your hands. Dar's getting one, and have fun with it, bro. Let us know. Seriously, if there's any problems with it or anything, we need to know, because you're kind of going to be one of the beta guys. Little did you know.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. That's
Dar, you'll have to send me, just private message me, either on the Facebook or send an email to the, Rick at lawabidingbiker.com, your address, and I'll get a set sent out to you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Good. Awesome stuff. All right. Nobody's going to grab a seat. Dar, anything else, buddy, that you want to talk about before we wind it down, man? Anything you want to say to the biker community that, that you're been a part of and help grow?
Well, I just want to plug the Patron Facebook. I mean, I remember one of the episodes we were talking about how this is so different from the forum, from the, all the blogs out there, because, you get to know who these people are. And, once you're set up on Facebook, unless you cancel the account, you're there. And so, we have sometimes, agree to disagree on certain points, but at the end of the day, our love for motorcycle, for me, it started at 10 years old. The love for motorcycle, and I respect a lot of the people on the forum, on the Facebook page, because they've been doing this a lot longer than I have, and certainly have a lot of experience, and I just love it. And I really encourage anybody who hasn't done it, try it out, and it's invaluable.
Man, that is just powerful stuff, Dar. Thanks, man. Really, from the bottom of my heart, that's just awesome. And you're obviously, you've been on, and we'll be doing more blabs. Geez, you did awesome, man. It's like you're a professional at this, like you've done it before. Definitely you're smoother than me the first time, but you're always welcome to grab a seat in the blab. And if you ever, we have Matt Pass, we just had Greg Gaxiola, we have you on now. You see all those guys in the Facebook group. If you guys ever have subjects or you think that you think it would make a good blab like this, well, the email and all that, how to get a hold of me and whatnot. Let us know, and we'll try to work it into the schedule, because I think these are great. And I did have the open seat. I get it. Some people aren't comfortable. Last time we did this, a blab, Rick, remember we had Patron jump on? That was really cool, huh?
Yeah, we had Greg. Or was it Greg?
It wasn't Greg. No.
Mm-mm.
It's coming out in a upcoming episode. We batch process.
I'm getting all my episodes. I've done like 3 episodes in a row, and I'm getting all of our guests confused. You guys don't realize that we record these in bunches, and then you guys hear them, and it sounds like, oh yeah, and then I'm listening. Hey, that was like 3 weeks ago, man.
Oh, at least we're batch processing out. Yeah, a month now. We have to get this done. And Lurch is in the comments. Lurch right now is in the house. He hasn't grabbed a seat, but he just got signed up for Blab. He's the producer now. He does all my audio and editing and the podcast side of production things. So, Lurch, welcome.
Don't forget. You talking about Lurch made me think about. Don't forget that we need to plug our 100th anniversary. It's going to be coming up, and before we log out of here, hey guys, check out Biker Planet for us. They are being very good to us, and it's more than dating site. Like Ryan said, it's a place. If you're from big city and you're just looking for people to ride with and stuff, just check them out.
Yeah, lawabidingbiker.com/Biker Planet. At least click it. It helps us and check it out. like we say, they're obviously care about the biker community because they're willing to step up and support this podcast. So the big announcement, thank you, BD Kane, for bringing it up before we take it out here. You'll want to mark this. And this was Lurch's little brainchild. We are coming up on our 100th. This will not be it, Dar, by the way. Even though we're recording it, it seems like it's going to be the 100. It's not. It's going to be pushed back a little bit. Sorry, man.
No!
He's cutting out, dude. He's off Blab. He's like, screw these guys. But we'll Lurch, the producer. He's really become a producer. I'm not kidding when I say that lightly. He came up with this brainchild. It's the 100th anniversary. Even though we brought 117 because we did all the SOA series stuff, those really weren't numbered. So really our core podcast, we're coming up on 100. And so the date to set is we're going to do a live event. It's going to be on Blab like this. Of course, the camera will be back so you can kind of see everybody in the studio. We're going to open seats, probably have some giveaways. The date is going to be, and I will put out emails, but you'll probably want to mark it now, is going to be February 6th. And we are going to go live on Blab at 2:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're allowing up to a 3-hour episode. I know that's long. Some people will come, some people will go. We get it. But there'll be 2 to 5, basically, Pacific Standard Time on February 6th. It'll be via Blab. We're going to have multiple people in the studio. And Lurch is going to be in here, and BD Kane, Jake will be in here. LD might stop by. We're going to have multiple mics. It's really just going to be a bullshit session about where we started, where we came from. We've got Lurch, the producer, is pulling all kinds of old sound bites from when I was in the closet and back when Cuz was in helping me out, and just some really funny shit. So he's working on that. We're working hard on it. It was his idea, and I was just going to skip past it, which I'm just so busy. I did that, and he brought it to my attention, and I think it'll be good for the community too. And so we want your guys's, we'll be just having fun and talking about things and some old stories, and whoever jumps on Blab will click seats in and see if they want to say something or if they want to bring up their memory or how they found Law Abiding Biker. And it's just kind of going to be a community event. So I'm glad BD Kane brought that up here, and so that I could announce that and all that. So awesome. It looks like BD Kane just bagged out on us, huh, Dar?
Yeah.
He bagged.
He has 0500.
What's that? Yeah, true. Usually he's like going to say something before he bags out, but I guess he just had to go, or maybe he had to go pee or something probably. So who knows? But with that said, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. We are going to take it out here, and hang on a sec real quick. Oh, no, somebody just opened a seat, but Chris England. Sometimes they pop up there on the seat, but all right. So it's closed, guys, and we'll be doing some more blabs. And do you see that popping up, Dar? In that closed seat? Okay.
No, it's yeah, no.
All right, guys. So we're going to take it out. Really appreciate Dar being in the house, buddy. It's been awesome. Thank a couple donations, guys. Of course, we love the patrons, just like Dar's a patron, but we're never going to balk at a flat donation. Everybody's in a different spot, of course. And if you just want to give a flat donation, of course, we appreciate that. I want to thank the following people: Tim Allard of Amherst, New Hampshire, and Alejandro Guevara of Hialeah, Florida, Anthony Perrin of Battle Creek, Mission. Thanks, guys, for taking action. Thank you for getting involved. They simply went to lawabidingbiker.com/donate. They help put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank so we can keep this show heading on down the road, and it means so very much to us, guys. Call to action. Don't forget, the patrons support this app, guys. We have an app, and it's free. It's good for Google Play, Android App Store, Amazon Kindle App Store, of course, the Apple App Store. Just go to lawabidingbiker.com/app, APP. You can get hooked up with the app. iTunes only carries about the last 50 episodes, so if you want a back catalog and see all our episodes, the app's the way to go because they're all right in there for you guys. And that way you can back catalog. Of course, the show notes are in there. You can call us right from the app. It's really the best way to go if you're going to consume the Law Abiding Biker podcast on a regular basis. Any of them will tell you. And of course, the patrons, guys, are the ones the funds go, because that app has to be upkept and there's coding involved and all that kind of stuff. And nothing's free, right? Nothing's free. And certainly the app is not free, guys. Don't forget, if you want to contact us, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. There's voicemail over there. If you want to leave a voicemail anywhere in the world, right from your microphone, right on your computer, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail, guys. And of course, the Law Abiding Biker podcast hotline phone number, 509-731-3548. If you can't help us financially at this point where you're at, please at least rate us in iTunes, lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes or /Stitcher Radio if you're listening there. That helps bump us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and become what we call part of the biker revolution. Thanks, guys. Peace out. It's been good in the blabosphere.